and welcome to the first video of 2014. Today we're talking about Assassin's Creed 2. Many people consider Assassin's Creed 2 to be the best in the Assassin's Creed series. The reason for that is, in my own opinion, is because it's one of the few that can actually stand as a standalone story if it's so desired. Yes, it has a bit of a cliffhanger at the end, however, the story of the assassin is an open and shut story. You know where it begins and you know where it ends. You know the story keeps going, but you don't necessarily have to play it in order to understand it. Now, the story begins with Desmond Miles escaping from Abstergo. You'll remember them from the first game. Now, he ends up meeting a group of, we'll call them freedom fighters, let's say, and they have their own version of the Animus. And they're going to train Desmond as an assassin by having him live the literal life of one of his ancestors. Now, this makes the story a lot more enjoyable because Desmond has a purpose rather than merely being a framing device as he was in Assassin's Creed 1. Now, I'm going to be frank with you, I did not like Assassin's Creed 1. The controls felt wonky, the storytelling was just very poor in my own opinion, and it felt like it was very hand-holdy. Literally, if you went a little bit off to the direction where you weren't supposed to go, the screen would flash white and it would start you over. That got old really fast. Where Assassin's Creed 2 improves that is that it doesn't have that same you've gone off the beaten path, start over mentality, unless you're in a mission where you have to do a specific thing. The controls were greatly improved from 1 to 2. And that doesn't just include combat, although combat has received a major facelift. The free-running mechanic has been greatly improved in this version and is probably one of the best you'll see in video games lately. They've done improvements in the Assassin's Creed series, sure, but at the time of this game's release, I had not seen anyone that does it quite that well. And in fact, many people would give this game some credit for what would later become the Batman Arkham style of combat, in that when the enemy attacks you, you can hit the counter button and strike back. There hadn't been a whole lot of that in the action genre. It was more of a, you had to dodge the attack, you couldn't really meet it head on. On top of that, there are a ton of weapon selections in this game, as opposed to just the 1 or 2 you had in the first outing. The double Assassin's Blades were very fun to play with, and so were all of the weapons because they each had a unique killing animation, and they each had more than one.
I never be bought, how could I be scared of a man? I walk through this land like a runner's man. Never can you imagine the pain that I bring. If I say it, I'ma do it in the streets of this thing. It's a K-I-N-G-N Hill, while it's banned in the world, and I have no fear. I'm the mean and the mean, the nightmare dreams, the root of all evil. Weak fear me, yeah. Somebody go get their ass kicked. Somebody go get their weak split.
On top of that, you were able to disarm guards and use their weapons for a time. This made combat a lot more varied, and it made the game feel a lot less same old as you played through it. Customization was also much higher in this version, allowing you to customize your armor right down to its color through dyes. The stealth mechanic also received a large amount of an upgrade, not only in the form of being able to hide more effectively, but being able to hire things like courtesans and thieves to help you on your way. The graphics of this game are phenomenal for the time. Some of it looks photorealistic, and only once or twice in the course of a 22-hour game will you see any sort of graphical hiccup. That's a rarity even today. And this game does have a couple of years on it. Now, the story begins with, as I said, Desmond's parts I'm not going to really focus on. We're going to be talking more about Ezio, because he is really the focal point of the story. We begin with literally his birth. That's where the tutorial starts, showing you how to move your arms and legs, with Ezio as an infant. This was a great idea, I thought, because it really gets you in the mindset that you're not just playing a particular time of a person's life. You're literally starting from birth till whenever. And then we jump to where Ezio is an older teenager. he's getting into a little bit of a scuffle, and that's where the rest of the tutorial takes place. Now, through a series of events I don't want to spoil here, Ezio's father winds up in a bad situation, and Ezio has to help him. Thus, he finds a secret vault and is reborn as an assassin. Now, what I like about this game is, unlike the previous game where you played Altair, who was already a master assassin, in this game you're playing someone who doesn't know their craft, so as you're learning the new things, so is the character. Thus, you don't feel like you're underplaying what a character could do, as you would if you were playing someone like Altair. With Ezio, he's inexperienced, so if you're inexperienced, it works together. And it makes you feel more a part of the narrative, because you're both learning things at the exact same time. I like the fact that this game is a lot more open than the first one. It allows for a more varied gameplay, with different side activities, side quests, and different people who you can assist throughout the towns. There are multiple places to go, and each one has that classic European architecture. In other words, there is a lot of buildings to climb, there's a lot of places to hide. At first, learning your way around these big towns can be a little bit daunting, but once you master the map, I think you'll really enjoy it. Overall, looking to the future, you can see why people believe this is the best of the Assassin's Creed series. I would highly recommend, if you have the money, to pick it up. It's not that much money, whether you get it on the PlayStation, the Xbox, or the PC. Until next time, my name is Vega Goose saying keep calm and game on. I'll see you next time.